Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at Casa OS. This is not going to be a video on how to install it, guys. It is going to be a video about what is Casa OS and what are some of the features. Now guys, as you can see here, Casa OS is basically a very pretty way to manage your Docker containers. We have seen in my previous videos that you can self-host multiple applications, and they do have a very complete app store where you can download everything, and I'll be able to show you how to do that, guys. And as you can see, you can, if you have a VPN, you can remote access all of your containers from a different location, and you can also connect certain things such as OneDrive or Google Drive or Box or other things. So yeah, it's very self-explanatory, guys. It's not really that complicated, and you can see here that it's compatible with Ubuntu, Debian, and Raspberry Pi, and also CentOS using the famous one-liner curl command over here. So for all of you guys that haven't seen that video of me installing Casa OS, you can go back in my video library and look at how to install that, and that should be very self-explanatory. So I already have an instance of the Casa OS installed, guys, and you remember how we did that. And today I'm going to show you the Casa OS install that we have. So this is how it's looking like nowadays, and you guys can see that you can also add multiple links that goes to other things. So Casa OS is very pretty as an UI. You can see that it uses less resources. Right now I have 4 gigs of RAM, and yet you can see that it's only using 39% of it, and it's pretty much 0% of the CPU, and I have all of these Docker containers running. Now granted, some of these Docker containers don't really do much and nothing is really happening in the background with them, but as you can see, I have my Cloudflare D, and you guys know which one this is for, the Cloudflare tunnels, and this is actually very good and very useful for when you're remote and you want to remote in or have your applications hosted and accessible over the internet. So yeah, so as a runaround, guys, as you can see here, we do have a terminal where you can log in, and you can also see multiple other things such as logs. You can also change your username from there. You can change your theme, and well, by theme it's mostly just the wallpaper. You can change the port, set the language, you can add a search bar at the top, which I don't like, and also you can do your updates from here if you require. This feature to auto mount the USB drive, I haven't used it myself, but I do know that when you plug in a USB, if you have your Casa OS installed on one of those mini computers, then if you plug in a USB drive, then it's going to show up automatically over here. And you can see, guys, they have this very good looking file manager that you can use to manage all of your files, and you can use file drop, which I haven't really experimented with that much, but it's very self-explanatory. You can right-click on things and share them, and once you share them, then they're accessible over the network. You can go to the SMB path and then be able to see what's going on. Now, if you're familiar with other Docker container / server management apps, or I would call it OSs, you also are familiar with Umbrel. And I haven't done a video about it, but it's, this one, Umbrel is more, I would say, crypto focused, where the Casa OS is more basically focused on Docker and self-hosting and things like that. but you can accomplish the same goal. Now on Casa OS, you have an app store, and the app store is really big, and you have multiple applications. And if you're not satisfied with applications from the Casa OS app store, you can also add your own app store. And you can see here I've added a couple of other app stores, and if you click on more apps, you can add another link, and the link you can grab it from here, and you can see that they do have multiple third-party stores. Now guys, when it comes to third-party anything, I would say do your research, go to the GitHub, and make sure you're not just adding any other thing that you don't trust. So make sure that you understand that these are sources and they might not have been verified, and you might not know what you're getting, but make sure you check it out for yourself. Normally the main official store is sufficient for you to run anything. So as a test, guys, let's install Jellyfin. And as you can see, it basically takes a few seconds and it's going to start. One other thing that is very interesting is that you can actually run this app in the background, where this is gonna install, and if I click there, it's just gonna keep installing and I can do whatever I need to do. But as you can see, Jellyfin is very, very fast, and it opens right away. And it's done now installing. And if you right click and go to settings, you can see that everything that would contain inside a Docker Compose is here, but is made in a graphical way where you can see everything and see what's actually going on. Now, you can change all of the things, the CPU shares, the restart policy, all of these you can change yourself. You can even add a different icon if you want, the title, this one, you have to make sure that you know, like this one is from Linux Server IO. If you want to, grab another image from a different repository, you can do it by putting it over here. So I'm gonna save. Once you click save, it does restart, but even though it says installing, it's actually just restarting the container. Now, if I click on this, you'll see that Jellyfin has been installed and it's actually running right now. So we can actually go through blah, blah, blah and set it up, which I'm not going to do. But as you guys can see, it's very simple. And that's why CasaOS is my #1 recommended app for, well, I call it an app, but it's more of an OS really. But you can actually run it on top of any other OS. So if you're running Ubuntu, you can run on top of it. If you're running it on Debian, you can run on top of it, even CentOS. So it's very easy to use. Another comparison, if you guys want to get into this self-hosting and looking into different applications, is RunTP. I done a video about RunTP. You can also kind of do the same thing, although RunTP gives you less control, but you can also experiment. And that's why I like this self-hosting, guys, is that you can experiment with a lot of things and you can do a lot of things. You can install things, and yeah, so don't be shy, guys. One other thing that I want to talk about is the fact that if you don't find your application that you want in the App Store, what you can do is actually do a customized app. Now, a customized app, guys, is let's say you have this Docker container that you want to install in the Casa OS and you don't know anything about how to use the command line. Normally, if you want to use the command line, you will go over here, log in into the terminal, and then just run the things in the terminal. But if you don't want to, and you know you have your Docker Compose, all you would do is come on here, and you can either click on the plus icon here, or you can just go from here and click custom install on the top. It's the same thing. Now, over here is where you go to import. You can also, if you know what you're doing, you can also do it all over here, but normally what you would do is create your Docker Compose. Now, here, they give you a space where you can enter a Docker Compose. And what you would do then is go grab any Docker Compose, such as this, and I'm just giving you guys this as an example. We're not going to install it, just to show you. So this is a Heimdall Linux Server IO Docker Compose. And basically what you would do is copy the command here and, well, the command, but the Docker Compose, and you would basically bring it back over here and type it in. And that's it. So once you have this, you'll submit and click OK, and you'll see that all of that information from your Docker Compose, the volume, the environment, the ports, and even the image, all of that information is now here, and it's auto-configured by itself. But the only thing you have to make sure you change is the / here. So as you can see, it's not really pointing to something. That means that there is a folder missing, because everything goes into the app data on Casa OS. So that means you would have to create a folder called Heimdall, let's say, and then /config. So things would be in the Heimdall folder under the subdirectory config. So yeah, as you can see, if I hit enter, it's probably just going to install it in the wrong path, but everything else would be fine. You would have to determine which port you're going to use to go out. You're going to have to put a title, but everything else is self-explanatory. And once you've run it, you can still open this and do your edits and make sure things work as you want, and you can add all of the container commands that you need. So that's another aspect that I like about Casa OS that most people should be aware of. So yeah, I think that's it for me, guys, on this Casa OS. One thing that you guys need to know, that Casa OS is really an OS, and that the developers of Casa OS are working on a NAS, which is called, I do believe it's called Zima something. I'm gonna put the name of it here somewhere, but they're working on hardware for this Casa OS. So that's been it for the look at this, guys. And before I go, sorry, I keep thinking of new things to add to this. So let's say you want to use as your dashboard. So you guys know about dashboard. People have organizer, they have all the homework, Heimdall, homepage, and all the others. So what you can also do is use this as a homepage. As you can see here, I do have a link of Unraid, but as you guys know, Unraid is another NAS OS that is on a different machine, but I use this as my homepage for all of my things. So if I click on this, it will bring me to my Unraid homepage, but it's not hosted on the same Casa OS instance. So this is one other thing that you guys need to know, is that you can also use it as your homepage. So yeah, I'm not really going to go through this. The storage is incomplete. I don't recommend people use the storage manager yet. Maybe once all of the maybe once the OS is more not 0.4 but like 1, like version 1, maybe this is going to be complete. But so far I'm not sure that I would recommend people come here and use this to manage their storage. Yeah, and as for my setup, all of this is running in Proxmox, and I have a Proxmox container basically running the Casa OS in an LXC container that is running Ubuntu. So yeah, that's it for me for this video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, share this video, guys. Let's make this channel the best channel that is. Thank you. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.